Hey guys, how's it going? So I think we've probably seen this before. This is the ice stall. I think most of you guys have probably seen this, even if you've only played 10-20 games, you've at least seen this once. Now a lot of people have been doing this ice stall strategy. And what's it actually about? What does it actually consist of? I think most of you guys know, but let's just explain it for you guys if you have not seen it. Basically what you're doing is, you know that the round doesn't really start until all the balloons that come out for that round are popped. So round 2 won't start until you pop all 15 or 20 of those red balloons that come out in that wave. Now what the ice stall strategy does is they make it so that round will last even longer. And that means every single round will last longer. And you know what that equals? That equals more in-game currency that you can get by sending out balloons at people. So realistically, what we're looking at here is we're trying to figure out how do we beat the ice stall strategy and how and if you want to use it, you can. It's not against the rules. I don't recommend using it. It's actually kind of bad, to be honest. But some people are having problems beating it, and that's what this video is for. I'm going to show you guys 2 different ways, at least 2 different ways, where you guys can easily beat this ice stall strategy, and you guys will have no problems. And in fact, you're going to say, why would they even want to do this anymore? I think it's going to become commonplace that everybody's just going to understand that the ice stall strategy just does not work. You cannot really make it extremely effective. At least any easy way you can make it extremely effective, unless you're just facing a total noob. Anybody who's reasonably good is just going to just own this strategy. So I'm going to explain to you guys how I've been beating it, and how I think you guys should go about beating it. So there's 2 things you guys would probably realize about this, and the first thing is you're probably going to need some tier 4 towers. So if you're a really low level player, like you've barely unlocked some tier 4 towers, the ice stall strategy might be hard to beat. So yeah, I do realize that, but there is ways around that, and I'll show you guys pretty soon here what I actually do against the ice stall strategy usually. And then there's actually a secondary way to beat it, and I think this is actually the way that most people are going to have to end up beating it. And let me tell you the basics here. First of all, the main thing you want to do is, if you see the ice stall strategy, the first thing you want to do is say, I need to send out balloons at my enemy. As many balloons as possible, send them out at your enemy, and you will win. That's how it works, guys. Just keep sending them out, keep sending them out, keep sending them out, until wave like 9 or 10 or something like that. And you can get a super crazy, ridiculous economy here, guys. It's going to be so intense. I've actually gotten my economy up to around 1700 before with somebody using the ice stall strategy against me. On the other hand, if I use the ice stall strategy, I can really only get my economy up to like 1000. So that person can almost double you if you're not using the ice stall strategy, but you know how to beat it. So one thing I want you guys to realize here is he has a 3-0 boomerang. You can notice that it's not 3-2 because those waves are not going through the ice. They're just stopping as soon as they hit the ice, which is good now because his ice stall strategy is not going to completely work, but he should have changed that just a little bit, and I'll show you guys what's actually going to happen here in just a couple, maybe about a minute here. What he should have done and what he did wrong, and what you can do to beat him. So you're gonna notice I'm going with my basic strategy here. I'm just making a 2-3 boomerang. He's not sending too many balloons at me. He's just sending some blue waves at me as well. He's just trying to get some economy as well, and that's the basic point of the ice stall strategy. Both players are going to have a really strong economy, and usually the only reason that these people win with the ice stall strategy is because people don't have tier 4 towers, and they just outlast them, or they don't understand that you're supposed to go so much economy. They just keep making towers and towers and towers, and then by level 22, 24, they send a BFB and you lose. That's, it's pretty easy. So, we're at about 351 here, and now you're going to realize that, guess what happens on round 8? You can start sending out regrow balloons to somebody, so pay attention to that. You guys might want to check that out a little bit. Regrow balloons plus white balloons equals, whoa, guess what? Those ice towers really can't even freeze those guys. So that could be a major problem. So I thought ahead, and guess what I've been doing, guys? First of all, I got a little bit of a defense here. I'm saying, you know what, just in case he does send some regrow blacks at me or something like that, I need to have a reasonable defense. I don't want to go way too much economy. Even though my economy is at like 923, you still want to have a reasonable setup that you can defend versus some sort of random rush he tries to send at you. So round 8, what do you do on round 8? Well, what you're going to do is actually, you're going to send out some white balloons, but they're not just going to be regular white balloons, they're actually going to be regrow white balloons. And what that does is, he's not really going to know what to do versus those white balloons because they're just going to kind of run through his entire defense, and he's not going to be able to beat him most of the time. Now, if he was smart, the first thing he'd do right here is upgrade his 3-0 boomerang to 3-2, or at least 3-1, and he could pop those frozen balloons, and that other 3-2 boomerang wouldn't just be sitting there multiplying these white balloons, and I wouldn't have all this just run right through his defense. So this is the first way to beat an ice stall. Just send a bunch of regrow whites, if not regrow zebras once you get the chance. Usually that's actually just going to do the trick. Most people they're not used to the ice stall that fantastically amazing yet, and that's an easy way to beat it. Now there is another way that you're probably going to have to end up doing this, because not everybody's going to go and be kind of a nub cake like that, where they're actually going to not upgrade their boomerangs in time, or not upgrade their boomerangs at all. He got a little bit greedy there, and he was trying to go for too much economy, and he didn't realize he probably should have just upgraded his boomerang right around level 10. If you're going for the ice stall strategy, I recommend doing that. Upgrade your boomerang right around then. You should have enough economy by level 10. You shouldn't have to go crazy with it. One thing you're probably going to realize is, yeah, that game was only about 5 minutes until level 10. So, I mean, it wasn't a crazy amount of time, but we did get a lot of economy. A lot, guys. I hit like $1,000 every 6 seconds. That's a lot of money. So, yeah, as soon as you realize, okay, he's got ice. What do I do versus ice? Well, if you're going to notice, I have my basic start here with most of my towers here. I have my boomerang, my mortar, my spike factory, and my farm. And I feel like that is probably one of the best ways to go with a basic start here, because you have something versus everything. Boomerangs are good pretty much versus any sort of popping power. You can beat ceramics, you can beat regen rushes, you can beat, if you get enough of them, you can beat some Moabs and stuff like that. They're really, really, really good in pretty much all aspects. The mortar is pretty important because you need something versus camos, and boomerangs obviously lack versus camos. That's really the only problem with the boomerangs there. You can't see camos with them, but if you get either a monkey village or a boomerang where you can see camo, those can be super duper awesome as a team. But also, guess what? If you're going to get to level 18 or something like that, you're going to have a pretty big problem beating Moabs. I mean, every once in a while, you can get enough boomerangs where you can actually beat some Moabs, maybe one, maybe two. If you get like a 2-4 boomerang or something like that, you can actually beat some Moabs, but that's not going to last forever. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get something even better versus Moabs, and that's what my spike factory is for. A 4-2 spike factory is one of the best late game things you can get. Trust me, guys, on this. That's why I always keep a spike factory in my arsenal. You guys notice I barely ever use spike factories in a regular game. They're almost there for show, right? No, not really. They are there for when I go into late games where I need something that's going to beat Moabs, if not BFBs, if not even Zomai Gods. I've beaten some Zomai Gods with a 4-2 spike, not just one 4-2 spike factory, but some 4-2 spike factories. So you're gonna have to pay attention to that. So what you can notice here is you probably want to go less farms versus an ice stall and more balloons. So you're going to notice I probably could get, you know, 2 or 3, like 2-0 banana farms or something, if not a 3-something banana farm if I wanted to. But you probably shouldn't. You probably should just keep sending out balloons at your enemy, because the rounds are going to be way longer, and you're going to get more money from sending out balloons compared to your banana farms giving you money for each round, because the round is so much longer. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So what you're going to notice here is he's got some really, really crazy defense going on here. All those ice towers are just kind of freezing those balloons. He's got 2 3-0 boomerangs over there, which are just popping all the random balloons, but they're not popping the frozen balloons. So yeah, they're not upgraded yet. And the first thing you're going to notice here is I'm actually making him leak some balloons. So that's kind of interesting. When he's leaking balloons, ooh, what could I do versus that? Well, I could do the same strategy that I was doing versus the other guy. I could try sending out a bunch of regrow whites if I wanted. But I actually wanted to give you guys a show and give you guys another way to actually beat this ice stall strategy. And if not, and I actually think this way is actually a lot more fun. So if you guys want to have some fun with the game, which that's the point of the game. The point of the game isn't always to win, it's to have fun. You know, and I have fun with my games, doing random strategies, doing different things, and trying different things versus people. The only time I usually get mad is when I should have won a game and I didn't because of something like lag. And I've had a couple random games in the past, actually recently, where lag has just been so bad for me and it makes me angry. I had one game, this is just kind of a random tangent that I just wanted to tell you guys. One game, I had 4 3-0 boomerangs, versus just a simple regen rush, and I lost. And I was like, no way, how does that even happen? That doesn't even make sense, that's not even fair. 3, if not 2 3-0 boomerangs should beat a regen rush. I had 4, okay? So I don't even know how that happened, but whatever, I guess. So, round 8 here, and I have a pretty intense economy. It's above 900 right now. I have enough towers here to defend. He's sending out blacks and whites at me, which I don't really understand. He should be sending out greens and yellows at me to get more economy, which I'm still sending out greens because I don't know why. I should be sending out yellows, and here I just realized it like a few seconds too late that I should be sending out yellows at this guy. And he's just popping them really, really fast with his boomerang there. It's just going right through him, and I don't really understand some of these ice towers. That ice tower is just kind of getting in the way of his 3-0 boomerang popping stuff, to be honest. Kind of, I don't know. I don't really know, guys. But anyways, you're going to notice, as I said before, I'm not really getting too many farms. I'm just sending out tons and tons of balloons at him, and I have an economy of 1,200 already. 1,200 on round 9. Crazy. Crazy. So, really not too much going on here, pretty much just sending out tons and tons of yellow balloons at him. That's like one of the fastest ways to get economy is yellows and pinks of your enemy. You're going to get crazy amounts of economy going, and those ice towers are just stalling so freaking well. Look how long this game is. It's already 5 minutes and 45 seconds, and we're still sending out balloons at each other. He's sending out greens at me for some reason. I don't understand that, but, you know, whatever. So what you're going to notice here is his defense isn't working too well. I actually almost stopped sending out balloons at him because I didn't want to beat him because I wanted to give you guys a show. It's kind of bad. He should have right now upgraded one of his 3-0 boomerangs to 3-1 for sure. That's probably one of the smartest things he should have done. It's kind of important to do that because you don't want to lose doing ice stall after you just did it for 7 minutes or something like that. So he finally upgraded his guy to pop those ice balloons, and that was the smart thing to do. And now the rounds are going to go by a little bit faster here. And you're going to notice I have a really good defense here, guys. Level 12. Yeah, right, you're going to beat me on level 12. My economy as well is almost $1,700 every 6 seconds. That's pretty high. And that's what happens on the ice stall. I can guarantee this guy's economy is probably only like 1,000 tops. And mine's almost double his. It's probably right around 800 or 900. That's my guesstimate. I don't really know. I don't really talk to him, but that's what I would guess if I had to say so. So, if you can notice, I got 2 3 boomerangs, 4 3-0 boomerangs. Yeah, right, you're gonna stop me. Not even with a ceramic regen rush, not with anything. But you know what can kill me? Moabs. Yeah, Moabs can kill me. So I gotta be careful. What am I gonna do? Well, I'm just gonna start saving up my money here. I'm gonna save up for a 4-2 spike factory, I believe. And you notice I sent a regen rush out at him, and I actually wasn't expecting that to beat him. I just kind of want to try it. I had so much money, I pretty much knew I had this game at this moment. I just kind of wanted to test it out and see if I could actually beat him with that regen rush. Sadly, I didn't. Yeah, not too bad though. I just have so much freaking economy, I don't even care. And I don't think he has very much else he can use. Obviously, he has one other tower that he could use. It could be a spike factory, I don't know. But right now, he's got 3 things of ice. He has his monkey village and some boomerangs. What else could he possibly have? I don't even know. So he went with his camo protection as the yellows and stuff. And what you're going to notice here is I went with a 4-2 spike factory. I sold my banana farm to get it, and then he sold all of his towers for some reason, which I totally did not understand. I think he was waiting for the Moabs, and he was going to send out a ton of Moabs all at once, and you know, I'm like, he doesn't even have any towers. I'm just going to send out some balloons at him, and then he realized, holy crap, the round's not over. Oh crap, he lost. So I would have won either way if he sent Moabs out at me, but I ended up winning this game because he kind of nub-caked it up just a little bit. And that is not all. So after we got this guy's game over with, I went and I showed you guys something way cooler. So now this game is actually sped up a ton. So I think it's sped up like 5 times or something like that. So hopefully you guys aren't mad at me. But it was like a 20-minute game overall. So I wanted to show you guys this because this was pretty much ice stall at its best. I think this guy did it basically perfect. I think the only reason I actually won was because of lag, but nonetheless, it was a fantastic game. Nothing bad about him. I can't say anything bad about him. He played it perfectly. He didn't put his boomerangs in the way of his ice, so I could easily beat him with those white regen balloons, and he also made it so it's extremely hard to beat him with not only Moabs, not only BFBs, but even with Oh My God, it was hard to beat him. And I think, honestly, if he didn't have any lag, it actually would have been an even longer game, because both of us would have been alive still. So it would have been a crazy, ridiculously long game. It probably would have went to round like 50 or 60 or something like that. So here, if you notice, I did my quick white regen rush just to test it out, see if it was going to work on him, and sadly he had too many boomerangs over there. Excuse me, he had too many boomerangs over there, and he was not able to I was not able to do any damage to him. Now, he did the same thing for me. He went with a white regen rush on me when I only had one boomerang, and that could have actually knocked me down to nothing. Luckily, I built my 3-0 boomerangs fast enough. I just had a little bit of money saved up, and I just built them all at once, and he wasn't able to do any damage to me. So what you're noticing here is I'm actually going with an early couple spike factories here. It's not really that early. It's around round 12. I already have my camo detection, so I'm not worried about that. I have a ton of money. If you guys haven't realized, my economy is up to $2,103. I'm just wondering, just questioning, what's your guys' max economy right now? What is the max you guys have ever gotten it to? This wasn't a neutral game, by the way, so this was like a legit us sending out balloons at each other, trying to kill each other game, and we still went really, really high. And here, this is the reason why I'm sending out all these pinks here, is I'm actually doing it for economy. Pinks are actually the best way to get economy in the game because they come back so fast. You can pretty much hold down the 5 key and just send out as many pinks as you possibly can all at once, and that's how you're going to get tons of economy. If you notice, I actually got my economy up to basically $4,000, which is pretty darn high. So I went with just a bunch of 4-2 spike factories, as many as possible, and my economy is better than him because he had to do the ice stall. And that's why my economy is better, and that's why I still have that slight advantage over him. But he has the advantage of knowing he was going to do the ice stall, so he has the advantage of having 2-4 monkey aces. Holy crap, guess what 2-4 monkey aces do? They kill BFBs, infinite BFBs, infinite Moabs, all at once. And guess what else he's got? He's got those 2 spike factories right there that he can use their abilities on. So I'm like, what are we gonna do, guys? He uses his ability to try and explode all these guys. This was a crazy intense game. The only reason I won was because of lag, and that's all I got for you guys. Still a super awesome game. He's a good player. Thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.